Hey, welcome back. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is The Great Conversation. So, I was reorganizing my bookshelf the other day. You know, that dangerous activity that always ends with you reading instead of cleaning. And I pulled out an old, cloth-bound copy of a Victorian novel. As I flipped through the brittle pages, a single, chilling line caught my eye. She quietly unlocked the little cabinet where she kept her medicines. And I just stopped. I put the book down and looked around my own apartment, at the innocent cabinet where I keep, well, ibuprofen and tea. But in that moment, I was struck by the sheer power of that simple, domestic object in stories. Because in literature, that's never just a medicine cabinet. That is a poison cabinet. And it might just be one of the most quietly influential and deadly plot devices we've ever invented. Today, we're unlocking that cabinet. This is episode 14, The Poison Cabinet, a history of literature's deadliest plot device. To understand why this trope is so potent, we have to go back, way before the Victorian drawing room. Our story starts not with novels, but with real history, and with a woman who might be the archetype of the poisoner. In ancient Rome, there was a fearsome reputation attached to a certain class of women, the veneficae. These were alleged poisoners, often of high status, accused of concocting untraceable brews to remove husbands, rivals, or inconvenient heirs. They were said to have secret compartments in their jewelry boxes or hidden vials among their cosmetics. The poison was a woman's weapon. The gossip went silent, domestic, requiring no physical strength, just cunning and access. It was a crime of intimacy, perpetrated in the private sphere, the domus. This cultural fear, this link between female agency, domestic space, and concealed toxins, seeped into the very bedrock of Western storytelling. Fast forward to the 19th century, the golden age of the poison cabinet. The novel comes into its own, and with it, the domestic sphere becomes a universe of intense psychological drama. And what perfect staging for that drama! The locked cupboard, the ornamental casket, the secret drawer in the dressing table. Think about it. In a society obsessed with public propriety, the home was where everything hidden festered. The poison cabinet is the physical manifestation of a secret. It's where the carefully constructed facade of the household cracks open. In novels like Wilkie Collins's Armadale, or later in countless mystery stories, that small, locked space holds the key to the entire plot. It's a Chekhov's gun, but in liquid or powder form. If you show a character nervously tending to a private cabinet in Act 1, you can be absolutely certain someone will be clutching their throat by Act 3. But the poison cabinet is more than just a convenient plot trigger. Its true genius is as a character mirror. What a person chooses to poison, and why, tells us everything. Let's take two iconic examples that couldn't be more different. First, the ruthless ambition of Shakespeare's Lady Macbeth. Her fell purpose isn't aided by a literal cabinet, but by a metaphorical poison, the words she pours into Macbeth's ear. "Look like the innocent flower," she hisses, "but be the serpent under it." She is the poison, and her mind is the cabinet. The toxin here is ambition, and it corrupts from within. Contrast that with the heartbreaking desperation of Flaubert's Emma Bovary. Trapped in a life of crushing boredom and debt, her poison cabinet is the apothecary Homaisa's shop. She doesn't seek power over a kingdom, but escape from her own life. The arsenic she steals is a brutal, final answer to spiritual and financial suffocation. One character uses poison to seize control of a narrative, the other uses it to end one. The cabinet, real or symbolic, holds the truth they cannot speak. And this brings me to a more personal reflection. As an engineer and an entrepreneur, I'm trained to look for systems, for the underlying mechanisms that make things work. And the literary poison cabinet is a fascinating piece of narrative engineering. It's a perfect closed system. It creates tension through limitation. There's a finite amount of the substance. It's hard to obtain. Using it leaves evidence. It raises the stakes through intimacy. You have to be close enough to someone to slip it in their drink. It's a device of inequality, often used by the seemingly powerless against the powerful. But as a storyteller myself now, what fascinates me more is how the trope has evolved to diagnose societal sickness. The Victorian cabinet held belladonna for individual murders. But in modern thrillers, the cabinet might be a corporate lab, a government warehouse, a social media algorithm designed to spread a different kind of toxin. The fear is no longer just of a jealous spouse, but of systems so large and complex that the poison is everywhere, and the cabinet has no door at all. So, what's the takeaway from our foray into this dark, dusty corner of literary history? I think it's this: the poison cabinet endures because it is a masterclass in dramatic irony. We, the audience, know it's there. We see the character glance at it, fingers twitching toward the key. That knowledge creates a terrifying complicity. We become keepers of the secret. And in that space between the hidden vial and the final act, literature explores the most profound questions we have about trust, betrayal, and the terrifying fact that safety is often just an illusion. The true poison was never just in the bottle. It was in the conditions that made reaching for it seem like the only option. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Great Conversation. If you enjoyed this deep dive into literature's shadows, please do share it with a friend who loves a good story. It truly helps the show grow. For more from me, Ibnul J. Farabi, and the whole team, visit our home at Light Not Studios. That's lightnotstudios.com. Until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and maybe just take a good look at what's in your own cabinets.